Today, we are diving headfirst into the incredible fan film Jurassic World Rebirth. It's a story that's absolutely jam-packed with corporate greed, some truly terrifying genetically engineered monsters, and a single desperate mission that could literally change the world. So let's break down the story, get to know the characters, and tackle the really tough ethical questions this film throws at us. Right out of the gate, the film hits you with this line during a total containment failure. I mean, we don't even know who these people are or where we are, but you've got alarms blaring, scientists running for their lives, and this gut-wrenching feeling that something big has just broken free. It's the perfect way to hook you in, setting the stakes sky high from the very first minute. Okay, so after that chaotic opening, the story settles into its real core, a high-stakes heist. But here's the twist. This isn't about stealing money or jewels. It's a mission that puts this incredibly noble goal up against some seriously dangerous and illegal methods. And right away, it makes you ask, do the ends really justify the means? And here's the central conflict laid bare. On one side, you have Parkergenics with this unbelievable goal, a drug they're calling paleodioxin that could cure heart disease for like 1 in every 5 people on Earth. Amazing, right? But the flip side? To get it, they have to run a secret, totally illegal op to a forbidden island crawling with dinosaurs to get live samples. It is the ultimate ethical tightrope walk. Now, you can't have a mission like this without a team, and this one is just a classic recipe for disaster. You've got Zora Bennett, the tough-as-nails spec ops soldier trying to outrun her past. Then there's Dr. Loomis, the passionate scientist who thinks these dinosaurs are more than just monsters. Of course, you need a villain, and that's Martin Krebs, the corporate guy who only cares about the bottom line. And steering them into all this, Captain Duncan Kincaid, Zora's old buddy and the only captain crazy enough to take this job. You just know this group is a powder keg waiting to explode. So, what would possibly drive someone like Zora to sign up for what is basically a suicide mission? This number right here, $10 million. But it's not just about the money. As she puts it to Kincaid, it's the price to buy her life back, to finally escape the violent world she's been trapped in. That number gives her a powerful personal reason to see this through to the end. And now, we get to the island. This is where all those carefully laid plans get completely, and I mean completely, torn to shreds. The team makes it to the target zone, but from here on out, the mission just falls apart in the most catastrophic way you can imagine. Yeah, things go sideways almost immediately. It starts with a good deed, actually. They detour to answer a mayday call from a family whose boat went down. But that leads them right into a trap. They get hit by a mosasaur and a pack of spinosaurs all at once. In the middle of all that chaos, Krebs shows his true colors by cutting off a rescue call, and it all ends with their boat being ripped to pieces, leaving everyone stranded. And just when you think things can't possibly get any worse, we learn the island's darkest secret. See, this place wasn't a nature preserve. It was a secret R&D lab for creating what they called engineered entertainments. So these aren't just dinosaurs. They're genetically modified, crossbred freaks that were too ugly or too dangerous for the theme parks, so they were just dumped here. This isn't a lost world. It's a failed experiment full of monsters. So the boat is gone, and they're surrounded by these unnatural predators. What's the plan? Well, Zora had a backup. An exfil chopper is scheduled to make a pass for exactly 2 minutes at sunset the next day. If they aren't on that helipad when it flies over, it's gone. It is a single, desperate, all-or-nothing shot at getting out alive. Which brings us to the final act, an impossible escape. The goal isn't just about collecting samples anymore. Now, it's purely about surviving this island long enough to get to that extraction point before that 2-minute window closes for good. And believe me, the price of survival is devastatingly high. And wouldn't you know it, their last objective, the final sample they need, is at the bottom of a 500-foot vertical cliff. Oh, and it's not just a simple climb, because waiting for them right on that cliff face is a nest of Quetzalcoatlus. We're talking flying carnivores the size of an F-16 fighter jet. So now they have to deal with this treacherous climb while trying to avoid being eaten by a flock of giant, angry pterosaurs. No big deal, right? So they've got the final sample, they're being pulled back up to safety, and the tension just goes through the roof. The creatures attack, the team is scrambling, and the single rope holding them 500 feet in the air starts to fray. The line is about to snap, threatening to send every single one of them plummeting to their deaths. And in that moment of pure crisis, we get the story's most heroic and heartbreaking turning point. Captain Kincaid knows they're not all going to make it, so he chooses to sacrifice himself. His last words to Zora aren't about the mission or the money. They're, "Get the kids. Go." It's this incredibly powerful moment of selflessness that completely reframes what this whole struggle is really about. The cost of this mission was just immense. The entire original team of 4, plus the corporate rep, Krebs, are all gone. The only ones left are the 7 survivors, Zora, Loomis, and the family they rescued. The mission was paid for in blood, and now the few who were left have to decide what it was all for. And that leads us to the final, critical section. The samples are secure, the physical battle is over, but now it turns into a massive ethical battle. The question is no longer how to survive, but why they survived. It all boils down to this single question. After all that death, all that sacrifice, they hold the key to saving millions of lives. But who gets to own it? Who deserves to profit from a cure that was born from so much loss and bloodshed? And the choice is crystal clear. On one hand, they can complete the mission, give the samples to Parker Genix, make them trillions of dollars, and let a corporation decide who lives and who dies. Or there's option B, which Dr. Loomis suggests. Release the data, make it open source, give it to the whole world so a cure can be developed for everyone and owned by no one. Faced with that impossible choice, Zora, honoring Kincaid's sacrifice, makes her decision. We'll give it to everyone. And with that one simple line, she completely resolves the film's moral conflict. The prize isn't going to the corporation. It's going to humanity. And that brings us right back to where we started. They achieved a truly noble end, a cure for the world. But the means to get there were monstrous, not just illegal but deadly. The journey cost them almost everything. And it leaves us with one last question to chew on. Was it worth it? Was a cure for all of humanity worth the incredible price paid by the few who fought and died to get it?